I pray for your healing. The circumstances would change. I pray that the fear inside would flee in Jesus' name.
Warning. I chain smoke and I say fuck a lot. But I accept myself for the way I am. I accept you too. Viewer discretion advised.
Over your life in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name.
Sudden death of pastor's wife shocks coastal South Carolina. Mica Miller's alleged suicide makes waves. Hit News, May 2, 2024. I decided to cover this because not only is it making national headlines, even though it's local to where I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, but I also knew the girl it's about, Mica Miller. I used to work with her in 2013 at a screen printing shop. I worked there for about 8 months, and even though we were never friends or anything, there was only about a dozen people altogether that worked there. That's including the 2 owners. So I talked to her and saw her for 40 hours a week for about 8 months. And since then, every now and then, I would see her at the dragon boat races in Market Common because I'm a photographer for my job, and they would sponsor this event every year. And I guess her church would sponsor it as well, but she was actually one of the racers, so I was just there taking pictures. Mica Acacia Miller, 30, of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, passed away on Saturday, April 27, 2024. She was born March 7, 1994, in Wichita, Kansas, a daughter of Michael Francis and Angelita Ramirez. The alleged suicide of a prominent pastor's wife from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and the bizarre way in which it was announced to members of her church, has sparked a flood of speculation and concern along the Palmetto State coast. According to an obituary from Mica Acacia Miller of Myrtle Beach, the 30-year-old passed away last Saturday, April 27, 2024, in Lumberton, North Carolina. No cause or manner of death was referenced in the obituary. Investigators with the Robeson County Sheriff's Office are leading the investigation into Mica Miller's death. As of this writing, they have released no information related to their inquiries, except to say they do not believe there's a danger to their local community. Miller, originally of Wichita, Kansas, was married to John Paul Miller, pastor of the Solid Rock at Market Common Church in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Miller's obituary, written by her husband, referred to her as, quote, energetic, affirming, adventurous, faithful, loving, giving, forgiving, talented, joyous, creative, assertive, bold, determined, authoritative, passionate, hardworking, a risk taker, and so much more. The tribute also spoke extensively of Miller's relationship with her husband, portraying her as his most ardent admirer and someone who, quote, helped him with the church in every way. Quote, she truly served Jesus and her husband with all of her heart, it noted. She would praise her husband after every church service, telling him he was the best preacher in the world, even if it wasn't true. She also told him he was the funniest preacher in the world, even though that wasn't true either. What did the obituary fail to mention? That Miller sued her husband for divorce 2 weeks ago, papers he was reportedly served with just 48 hours before she died. John Paul Miller publicly announced his wife's death at the conclusion of his sermon last Sunday, April 28, 2024, giving his parishioners strict instructions not to discuss it among themselves.
We're not going to do an altar call today. Instead, I'm going to have you stand up, and I'm going to make an announcement. And after the announcement, I'm going to ask that you leave church quietly and don't talk about the announcement here in the building, please, if you can. So y'all can stand to your feet. Before I make the announcement, I also want to say that my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give for the next little bit. 'Cause I don't want to have. I'm taking a little bit of a break, and I don't want to have to worry about the church. My break may be a few days, a few weeks. I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. And it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. And we're going to have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can, I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally, and that she needed her medicine that was hard to get to her. And so I'm sure there'll be more details to come. But just keep our family in your prayers. And I'm going to let Pastor Randall, my bishop, he can pray. I'll give him a microphone. He'll pray out. And if you have anything you want to share as well, I'd appreciate it.
So the story goes that they've been friends since 2009, when she would have been about 14, 15, and he would have been about 29 or 30. He was married and had a bunch of kids, and evidently he ended up leaving his wife and marrying her. Voices in the Wilderness. This is from her father, Michael's blog on Facebook. My daughter Mica was found Saturday in Lumberton, North Carolina, with a fatal gunshot wound. A no-contact order and a divorce was filed just days before this tragedy. We're devastated. Prayers appreciated. And in March of 2024, she posted a couple of videos on Facebook. And this one kind of looked like a proof of life video. It was from March 18, 2024. She passed away April 27, 2024.
Hey everybody, I just want to let you know that I'm alive and well, and life's been kind of crazy the couple past weeks, months, years, but I've kind of had to keep my circle really small for the past couple weeks, just because I'm going through a lot and it's hard, and it's my cross to bear. It's the thing that God has put in my life to deal with, and I don't want to bring a lot of people into it. I'm so thankful to God for a strong family and the friends that God has put in my life to be there for me at this time.
Then a few days later, she posted this. March 22nd, 2024. Please share this with anyone struggling with leaving a dangerous situation because they think God will be, quote, mad at them. Hashtag abuse awareness. Hashtag God loves you.
So today my heart's a little heavy. I've had a lot of women that have reached out to me about situations of abuse. And I just want to tell you what a lot of people have told me lately and reminded me, because I think I forgot. I knew, but I pushed it in the back of my head just because of my situation. But you are the bride of Christ. Before anybody else's bride, male or female, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse. And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain. Jesus took it all for you. So you don't have to stay in a abusive relationship, whether that's sexual, whether that's somebody forcing you to take illegal drugs, or alcohol abuse, or physical abuse, psychological abuse, making you think that this is all your fault, or you're a bad mom, or you're a bad wife, or you're a bad husband, or you're not giving it your all when you know you are. God hates divorce, but why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that? So I want to remind you, like a bunch of people have been reminding me lately, that I'm God's bride first.
Then on April 9, 2024, she posts, when terrible, terrible, terrible things happen to you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. RPF, rest in peace face. Hashtag still blessed. Hashtag God loves you. And then I found this. So her husband was J.P. Miller, John Paul Miller. From the Sun News, September 26, 1998. Other indictments issued Thursday include John Paul Miller, 19, of 1859 Southwood Drive, Myrtle Beach. Assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature. The indictment charges Miller with hitting a woman twice with his vehicle at a high rate of speed on February 8. And if you look up John Paul Miller now in the white pages, he has relation with Mica Miller. That was his address listed from 1997. And I know the article says 1859 Southwood Drive, Myrtle Beach, and his white pages says 1859 Southwood Drive, Surfside Beach, but it's really the same thing. Surfside Beach is South Myrtle Beach pretty much. It could be considered Myrtle Beach or Surfside Beach. It's just not in the Myrtle Beach, quote, city limits. But a lot of things here aren't, but they're still considered Myrtle Beach. And I even paid a little money for a background report to see that he was charged with assault and battery, and he was guilty, according to the white pages. I'm over here at the church now.
Darkness, he is all I see.
Fucking stoned.
I got a motherfucking spaceship. Oh, fuck. Oh, cool. I got it.